Jeff, if you're looking at this, don't watch this till I come over. This is for after I come over. Everyone else gets a sneak peek. You have to wait. And if your name happens to be Jeff and you're not Jeff from Bobblehead Homestead, it's okay. You can watch. So tomorrow I've got an exciting experience that I'm looking forward to. There's a guy I met online some years back, and when I first met him, he was up in Illinois. Now he's down not too far from me, and I'm looking forward to this. We've been kind of hit and miss interacting for some years now. Started interacting more now over on YouTube. I originally met him on Steemit, but it's Jeff from Bobblehead Homestead. And so I'm gonna get a number of things ready, and then I'm gonna get loaded up. And we can't wait to see what's gonna happen. Can't wait to enjoy some time there. And actually what we're gonna do is just put some things on this property that'll bear some food later, that'll be useful later, and hopefully just get him off to a good start. Check out his place, get another set of eyes on it, and then eventually too, I hear he wants to come over here, so I can't wait for that either. So although he's like 3 hours away, Bobblehead Homestead may not have some of the stuff growing that grows wild here, and one thing that I haven't really seen anywhere else in the Ozarks yet is this crazy garlic. And I'm not sure if it started out as part of somebody's garden, and then like throughout the whole forest floor here, there's a lot of it. So we definitely love it. And a couple things I love about this garlic, it's a real garlic. When you pull it out at like the end of June or so when the stem dries, you can actually just rub it between your hands and all the hulls come off, all the husks, and you just have the garlic cloves. So it's really easy to do that way. We've also taken them and braided them up and dried them. And then they send out little, baby garlics at the top too. So I'm not sure what all's going on, but I mean, you bite into one, it's definitely a garlic. And at this point, this is where a whole cluster fell from the top. And I'm thinking, if I just reach here, and carefully, okay, we got some other roots in there, but here's all those baby garlics. So as somebody who wants to grow a certain amount of their own food and other stuff, I figured I'd bring these down for Jeff, and each of these can be planted single, or they can be just left in the clump. I'd split them into a couple different clumps, but this is one of the things I'm going to be bringing down there, and hopefully if he can get this established on his property and not eat it all, he'll have it for years and years to come. So that'll be really cool. So this is one of the presents I'm bringing him. And look, a nice little worm in there too. So I wanna make a neat gift too for Bobblehead. I came down here by the stream. Pretty nice out here, but this is a good place for resources. So I got an idea. What I want to do, see if I can find a real nice flat rock. If I can do that, I can do something really simple. Makes a wonderful, beautiful, custom, thing. I just gotta see if I can find a flat rock first. Man, I love that rushing water, and this is crazy stuff I'm walking on. It's just bedrock here, just so thick. Yeah, if we find a wet one, we can dry it. But we'll see. And actually, yesterday it got up to 75 degrees. The snakes were out. I saw a garter snake dead on the road. Sad to see it dead like that. See if I can find one like this, just a little bit smaller. That would actually work. We'll see what we can do. All right, so I think we got what we need. Man, this is gonna be flat enough, and it's a good size actually, especially with with his name and the length of it, Bobblehead Homestead. So we're gonna let this dry off in the sun. But down here too, we find a lot of interesting things. Check out what my boy found here. Right there, that's a fossil. Pretty cool little guy right down there. And there's a lot of these here. Sometimes when folks come and visit us, we bring them down here because pretty much any rock of this texture is gonna have a variety of fossils in it. This is one of the common ones we find. But as you can see, there's plenty of them here. So maybe we just go for a fossil find. Oh yeah. Yeah, another one there too. So all right, I gotta get back, get this drying up and finish packing my goods and making my gifts so I can go visit me Bobblehead. All right, so as I plan on heading out to Bobblehead Homestead here, a couple things came to mind. Number one is I should be able to take my catnip. I got a couple catnip plants and actually divide them from the roots because he's got some wonderful cats out there and new ones keep kind of showing up, and of course they like sticking around. And then the other thing is I'm gonna pull out one of my my fig trees, and I'm just going to pull it out from the root. I'm going to dig the whole thing up because this will grow back in the spring for me anyway. I got plenty of them and I can pretty much print as many as I want. And we're going to start off there and then check out a couple other things I'm thinking of bringing down, guys. And I'm not sure of the overall plan, you know, exactly everything he's going to get into. We met years ago actually, when this garden was a hog pen, okay? And we met years ago on Steemit, Jeff and I, and we started printing our own pigs. And we're actually going to work something out at one point. He was kind of thinking about getting into, you know, pigs. So I was going to send some of mine over his way. That never went through. I've gotten out of pigs since then. But yeah, I'm not sure of his entire plan, but I do know that I'm just going to come up with a bunch of gifts. You know, I'm not where I am financially able to just support everyone that I would like to or things like that. But if I can invest in his life, bring him a bunch of gifts and have him be blessed because we were there, put things on his property that can reproduce for him and be there for years to come and bless him and be something that's useful, something you could potentially propagate and sell, a lot of different options with this stuff. So I'm going to go let him take his pick. You know, he'll definitely be free to have whatever he wants. That's why I'm bringing it down, and whatever he doesn't want, you know, we'll find a home for later. But that's one thing as we move forward to here. I want to just get into propagating useful plants like crazy, and then when people are setting up a new homestead, I want to be able to be like a one-stop shop for them and just provide them with a whole pile of seeds and different cuttings and plants and stuff like that, and just make it a lot easier than tracking it down from, you know, 5 or 6 different sources. So let's get this stuff dug up and see how it works. Wow, that is so cool. There are so many more roots down there too, just from sticking, you know, a stick in the dirt. And it's got all these new sprouts, all this stuff going on. I'm gonna put that in a bucket and kind of seal it in with some stuff, and then we'll get this catnip out too. I think I can split that up. Okay, I'm just gonna chop that thing in half with an axe. It seems a little brutal and harsh, but it'll work. So boys, grab me an axe quick and I'll just chop it. That's the quickest way. Cool. Now, if you guys know, I don't actually have any cats here. Man. But I did have an offer from Dwells. If you guys aren't familiar with him, I'll link his channel as well. But man, catnip actually makes one of my favorite evening teas. I use catnip as a base. I'm not sure if he lets his cats use catnip or not, but I'll bring some of the dried catnip, see if they like it. I know I do. But just a beautiful plant. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. I love that flavor. Love that scent. So let's get this stuff going, and then check this out too. So we got brown turkey fig, and then we've got catnip. I got these walking onions actually that do really good too. So I thought I'll break off some of those, bring those up, get them established, let them grow if he wants to. A little bit of lemon balm, which does really good, another perennial. I don't know if he wants mint at all, but it's nice to have a natural organic breath mint just to nibble on a leaf sometimes if you need to. So I got some of that. And these ones here are all amazing ones that are very easy to propagate. This one actually is a red mulberry, and all I did was I broke off the I'm getting some gourd tunnel shadows on my face, but I broke off the top of one and mailed the bottom with the root base to somebody I knew, and the top just regrew. So all this could just be cut into like 20 more trees, and mulberries are of course a good tasty plant. And this one's elderberry coming out the bottom of the pot too. Another one you could just, you know, make another 10-15 trees or elderberry bushes off of this. And then American gooseberry, which does have thorns, kind of like a raspberry would. And that one too, just so easy to propagate. You just cut the stick, drop it in water, and you've got a new one. So as somebody who eats, because we're all physical people, I thought these would be some good options to offer him, and see what else he's into, see what else he likes. So honestly, giving gifts and making things and creating personalized things for people, I love that stuff. It's a great way to have like a tangible expression of your love, your respect, your friendship, you know, for somebody else. Now, I did just pick up this one down by the lake, and that was a lot of fun. But I actually got home and I was up by my garden, and you know, we got so many from before. This one's actually gonna work out, I think, really, really good. So I'm gonna use this one for that project instead. But then as I was looking around too, I realized, I know he wants to be growing some fruit trees and stuff. I've actually got some bare root plum trees and some bare root pawpaws that I plan on putting in this winter. That way they wake up in the spring ready to go, ready in the soil. But I'm gonna bring those with me and see if he wants a couple of each of those varieties, because especially when you're taking an existing property that's new to you, where it's just raw land and a lot of woods, a pawpaw tree for the first like 3 or 4 years of its life, it likes to be in the understory. And then after that, it kind of wants to grow up and be one of the big trees. So if you have a certain section of woods that you know you're going to be phasing out in the future, and you can plant those in a place where you know you can remember, you can watch them, and you can grow, and let it go for a couple of years, and then kind of phase out the big ones, maybe use it for lumber, use them for firewood or something, but allow the forest still to exist. You're just transitioning the species that are there in a way that may be more beneficial for you, and you know, renewing the resources. There'll still be trees there, they'll still be serving purposes for other animals, and you're able to take some stuff from the land and apply it in a good way, like, you know, lumber, like firewood. Like he's got a chipper shredder just like I do. We got to get chipper shredder in for sure and make a lot of wood mulch and stuff like that. But then also then the trees that come in there, as opposed to, you know, you may not want to eat a bunch of acorns. Eating pawpaws better than eating acorns. So actually all I'm going to do for this project here is I got some stickers at the dollar store. Okay, stickers at the dollar store. I'm gonna put Bobblehead Homestead across here and with the stickers, and then I'm just gonna take a can of black spray paint it, and then when it dries I'll peel it off and his name will be there, you know, in the gray of the stone. Now I could also find a color of spray paints that's similar to the stone, spray paint black or white or some other color first, then put the stickers on, and then spray paint like a natural color over the top of it. I'm not going that route, but I'm just kind of throwing it out there as an idea for somebody else if you guys like to do similar things. But that's where we're at. And then actually I've got to get making some salami, because I want to bring some of that over too. Homemade salami. I'm gonna make my second batch ever. This time I'm gonna add some ghost pepper to some of it because I'm Papa Pepper. So we're gonna check that out too. So honestly, that took about 5 minutes, guys. You can see I did guess the positioning pretty well. And I used 1 packet of the stickers, which is $1. Now I'm going to add in my $1 with the spray paint, but that's crazy. And if you look at it now, I mean, it looks kind of cool. I mean, maybe it feels like a 4-year-old or something, but we'll liven this up a little bit, and we'll make it look a little more refined. So Just gonna spray paint that really quick, let it dry for a bit, and then reveal it later. And I'm gonna grab my post hole digger, couple shovels, pickaxe, mattock axe, some different stuff too, because I think when I head out there, I'll see if he don't want some help getting some of the stuff in the dirt. I'll probably bring some mulch and even rabbit manure or something with me. Like, yeah, if you're ever going to visit somebody, bring rabbit manure. Sometimes people like that. So you guys are probably wondering, how did that turn out? Check it out. I did give it a clear coat just to help it last for a while, but my wife thinks that that's absolutely amazing. She loves it. She wants one herself. And I'm like, well, I gotta make a prototype first. So I'm gonna take Jeff a rock. And you know, whether he sets it out in front of his cabin when he gets it there, sets it in front of a tree, I don't know, somewhere, I think it'll look nice. What do you guys think? You think he'll like it? I hope he does. But we're gonna get this thing loaded up right now, and there's quite a bit coming. So one thing, I'm actually bringing over some rabbit manure, guys. Okay, if we're putting plants in the ground, and if his ground's anything like mine where there's a lot of rock and clay, I want some nutrients down there underneath. So we'll dig the hole, dump in a little bit of this, put it back with the earth, you know, after we plant it, and hopefully this will give some good nutrients for them when they wake up in the spring. But yes, I'm bringing rabbit manure to make a good first impression with somebody that I met on the internet, right? Because that's what homesteaders do. Also, I'm bringing a couple buckets just of some wood mulch. I know he's got wood chips over there, but I don't know if his wood chips are fresh or if they're old. These are a little bit older, so we can mix them in with the soil, help amend it. They'll need some nitrogen at first to break down the rest of the way, but then they should create some good soil for whatever plants we get planted. I know he's got tools over there, but I'm still gonna bring my mattock axe because when you're digging in this stuff, I know this guy helps, comes in handy. And now some cool stuff. We opened an online store on the 1st of January with some people we knew from Steemit. They created a platform. We got signed up for being a vendor, and we started listing some stuff. And I wanted to do personalized wood burnings. So one of the prototypes I made was this one. And I don't know, like I said, if he screws it into a tree or puts it on his building or puts it on the shelf, something, you know, he'll find a place for it eventually, but I think he'll like it. And again, kind of like the other one where I spent $2 on stickers and spray paint in a couple minutes, but I've got something that could last for years. Same thing here. It's just a way to show appreciation for somebody. We'll see if he likes it. Over there. This is some of the wild garlic I was picking for him. Love this stuff. Keeps coming back for years to come. I've actually got some bare root pawpaws. Now this is I think 100 of them. I'm putting a bunch in here this winter, but I wasn't sure if he wanted some or not, so we can take some maybe out in the existing forest, put a couple in the understory. Some years from now you can have some food from that. Bare root pawpaws. Also got some wild plum. Cool thing about those is they can be a rootstock for a lot of the different stone fruits like cherries, apricots, nectarines, peaches, different types of plums. You can potentially, they don't all work, but a lot of times you can get them to graft in. Then got that elderberry, which again, real easy to cut and propagate. Got some mint if he wants it. Also some lemon balm in here, and then the walking onions. This is the witch hazel. We'll see. And seriously, I've seen like 4-year-old plants, 3 or 4-year-old plants of witch hazel for sale in Mountain Home, Arkansas for $89. Like, there's 3 or 4 in that bucket. If he wants some, he can have them. If he wants one, he can have them. I can bring them back otherwise. But to me, people pay 90 bucks for just one of those. That's insane. Then got some service berry, and this one is that mulberry that I propagated. a red mulberry, but we also have a Russian mulberry here. I'm working on getting some black mulberry, and then I might get some white mulberry too and just have a variety of them. Here is that gooseberry, American gooseberry. And with a lot of these guys, they're just so easy to propagate. You put that in now, if he puts this in now and he doesn't touch these plants for years, they'll just kind of spread out a little bit of them. And then he can sit there and chop down and make as many in a better area or wherever he wants. This should get him off to a good start, but that's not all. Also got that catnip and brown turkey fig. And speaking of catnip, I don't know if he lets his cats use it or not. We don't have cats, but I love using catnip as a base for one of my favorite evening teas. So I got a big bag of homegrown dried catnip we made ourselves. I think he'll like it. I think his cats will dig it. If not, maybe I can teach him to make tea with it, or I've got no problem bringing it back either. And the last thing that I'm actually bringing, I always feel like I'm forgetting something, but we'll see, is down in here, I've actually got my winter supply of Jerusalem artichokes. These are actually the ones we were going to be eating, but I'm going to bring some over to get him started in case he wants to grow Jerusalem artichokes. I'll also probably take one, bring it in the house tonight, and I'll wash it up so we can eat one cold together for lunch, just a raw one, just to see if he never tried them, then he certainly can. And also in the oven right now, I'm making my second batch of salami ever. So I'm gonna bring some of that to cut up for lunch tomorrow. I can't wait to get over there, guys. Hopefully he'll appreciate some of this stuff. And seriously, if you're looking at this and being like, well, that's kind of like a ton of free gifts. Well, yeah, you know, there's so many things that we can do that are not necessarily tied up directly in money. Everyone has a limited supply of money, but a lot of these I got for free or very cheap. A lot of those actual plants that I paid for in here were 32 cents a piece. Think about that. The rest of them I got for free. I can chop them apart, stick them in the ground, and make more like crazy. Now, I may not be able to walk around with giant stacks of cash and be like, man, I know homesteading's hard. I know you're trying to get your stuff set up here. You know, go get $1,000 worth of fencing here. You know, go do whatever it is you're working on. You know, get your cabin moved here, those type of things. But I can take this, which basically costs me nothing, and I can save somebody else a lot of money by bringing it over there, and I can put it in the ground there, and later if I come back and visit, I can even get a meal off of it. But it can provide not only food, but also a potential source of income if anyone wants to get into plant propagation and bless other homesteaders and stuff too. And seriously, if you guys are around somewhere, I love to travel, you know, Wisconsin to Texas, east to west. It's been years since I hit the West Coast, but as I head around different places, this is not uncommon. It's not uncommon for me just to kind of take what I can and bless somebody else, because I know it makes things easier when we all work together. So if I'm ever passing through your area, feel free to let me know ahead of time, and I will, I'll stop in. I'll bring a blessing. I'll plant some stuff on your land with you. But I'm gonna get these Jerusalem artichokes going, and I'll see Jeff tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. We'll see what happens, but we'll see if we can't find a place for some of this on his property. And if he needs any two-man jobs, you know, taken care of too, I don't mind if people just use me for labor. All right, Papa out. As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.